We'll actually start with Tony Jones.
Good morning, Joe.
Maybe you're not driving, you're parked on the side of the street.
So my question is, with Bojan out, what role do you and Mike play, and how important is that? Are you two guys going to be going forward, and is that something, a source of pressure for you, for lack of a better term?
I mean, definitely not the pressure part. I'm not going to kind of go into a game now and feel like I've got to try and be Bojan or try and score like Bojan does or whatever it is. Obviously, it opens up a lot of minutes. He played a lot of minutes. He averaged a lot of points for us. He was obviously a high level scorer. So, which obviously means there's a few shots open and obviously some minutes. So I think it'll be shared around. I don't think any of us are I don't think anyone's going into this thinking that I have to do what he was doing or Mike has to do what he was doing. I think it definitely gives us more opportunity. And I think probably Michael will take a lot of that, which I think he's ready for and excited for. So, I think it'll be a collective kind of effort. But in saying that, obviously, he's still a big piece to miss going into this kind of last whatever's going on from here on out.
Hey, next question will be from Eric Weldon. Eric?
Hey, Joe. Nice to see you.
You too.
So when last we spoke, when this bubble concept was just kind of a vague idea, you expressed some reservations about it. You've obviously since said that, you're willing to support your teammates, you'll do whatever. But now that it's kind of a reality, how are you feeling about the bubble idea in general? What's your comfort level with it?
I mean, probably not still 100% kind of comfortable or anything. I don't really think anyone would be 100%. I don't know. I mean, obviously what we see in here, we've had a lot of meetings, a lot of talks, and they've filled us in. We had one yesterday with the NBA that was pretty informative, just giving us a bit more information on how things will work. To say that I'm like completely comfortable, I don't think, I mean, I'm definitely not, but I'm going to obviously put myself in a position to be as safe as possible. I'm going to spend a lot of time in my room with my coffee machine and get to know it very well. And obviously, like I said, I'm going to go. I'm going to play with my team, support my team, and obviously we're going to do what we can to get as far as we can. But I think it's tough when you're relying on obviously not just yourself to be smart about things, but you're relying on so many other people. So. Not that I don't trust everyone, but it's just a lot of it is out of my control as well. So, like I said, I'll control what I can control and be as kind of smart with the things that I can do, and then hopefully that puts our team and everyone else there in a reasonably safe position.
Okay. Next question will be Ben Anderson, KSL Sports.
Hey, Joe, kind of along those lines, at what point did you feel comfortable coming back? How close did you get to not coming back?
Well, at the start, I think it was, I obviously had said I wasn't comfortable at all. And obviously with not knowing anything about it, we really didn't know anything. It was a pretty new thing. And obviously for me, and which I couldn't say back then as well, but with Renee being pregnant, and with my son Jacob with the autism and his immune system being kind of compromised, it was just a scary time, I think, for everybody. And adding those things on top of that, there was no way at that point I would have. If they said we were coming back in 2 weeks' time, there would have been no way I would have gone. And I think obviously I think Renee was saying yesterday we're at like 100 and something days of kind of since that happened. And we know a lot more. We know what obviously I can do myself, like I said, to be safe and put myself in a good position. And I think that one of the scarier parts is once this is all over, going back to my family and not having symptoms or something like that and taking it back. So going back will be something I'm very cautious with as well. But obviously, like I said, as time's gone on, I've kind of felt more comfortable. like I said, the NBA has been good with keeping us kind of whatever the word is, in tune with what's kind of going on and what the protocols are going to be. And we had like I said, we had one yesterday that was probably a bit more informative, where obviously we get into a week or whatever until we leave. So, like I said, I'm just going to do everything in my power to be as smart as I can.
Okay. Next question will be Jeff Rainier. Jeff?
Yeah, good morning, Joe. Hey, so much uncertainty about what's going on everywhere. When you guys get down to Orlando, is there any way of predicting what's going to happen? I'm talking about on the court, with how teams will react and play. And do you like your team's chances going down there even without Bogey?
Yeah, I mean, for the second part, I do like our team's chance. I think, obviously, I only know what our team has been doing. I haven't spoken to too many other people except a couple of the other Australians. But, I know our guys have been working. I know our guys will have put themselves in positions. Obviously, we haven't been allowed to practice as a team or anything like that. So it's still a little unknown how it all pieced together. But we'll obviously come back when we can as a group, and we have got to figure out, obviously, the Boyan stuff and how we pick up where the things that he does well. And in terms of other teams, you just don't know. That's, I guess, kind of one of the cool things about doing it is if teams haven't been taking care of themselves individually or as a team, then you can really get a kind of jump on a team. So, I feel like we'll be ready. I obviously feel like that a lot of other teams will be ready too, but there's obviously going to be some players or some teams that either didn't think it was happening or hadn't been working as hard. So at the end of the day, obviously we hope that everyone stays healthy and injury free, and it's a good way to finish the season, and the Jazz get crowned the champions would be nice.
Okay. Next question will be Andy Larson.
Hey, Joe. You mentioned you were talking with your Australian group earlier. Kind of curious, like, what your guys' thought is on being in the U.S. during all of this versus kind of being at home, and obviously there are spiking cases here, and kind of some of the testing and just the general, I don't know, the confidence and I guess sense of danger you feel being here right now.
Yeah, it's definitely harder not being home. We'd looked into multiple options of trying to get Renee home while we go, or at the start when we didn't know what was happening, trying to get all of us home. Mm-hmm. Obviously, getting on a plane with 400 strangers wasn't a thing that we really wanted to kind of risk with what I was saying with Renee's pregnancy and Jacob and stuff like that. So it's definitely hard when you're in quarantine and you've got no immediate family, or Renee's parents are always with us or with the kids, and to not have them around in a time like this is tough. So we did look into Renee going back herself while we're gone with the kids to be with family, but Australia's on a pretty strict kind of quarantine and all that, so it would be a lot of effort and really tough for her to get back. She's got to quarantine in a hotel for 2 weeks if she flew back with 2 4-year-olds, which for anyone that has kids is a living nightmare. So it definitely has been harder than probably what it would have been if we could have been home in our own house and with family and friends or whatever. But we're lucky we have got a good support here. The Jazz have been awesome. The NBA has been good, and we've just kind of grinded through this like everyone else has. And I think at the end of the day, you sit back and obviously realize that we are still in a lot better position than a lot of other people. So we've made done with what we've had to do, and getting kind of excited to get back to some sort of normalcy, going and playing again, practicing.
Okay. Next question is from Kareem Copeland, Washington Post. Kareem?
Hey, what's up, Joe? I just wanted to do one more about the decision. What were the conversations like with Renee, considering, the kids and her situation? Because, that's kind of been, one of the biggest decisions for everybody, just with kids. That's going to be a deciding factor. How'd you guys get to that point?
She was probably a lot more confident in me playing than I was myself, and not in terms of my fitness or anything like that, but just I mean, from the day I've met her, she's always pushed me to go and play, and missing out on things with the kids and leaving early, coming home later so that I can prepare or recover or go and shoot before a game or whatever it is. So I guess she was probably adamant that I was going to play. I try to keep it, I guess, as real as possible and keeping the options of not playing open, because we weren't, especially at the start of it with so much unknown about it, I wasn't going to just dive into it and go and risk. Like I couldn't, at that point, I wouldn't have cared anything about basketball. It was about my family and my children and stuff like that. So, at the start, there was obviously big concerns. And like I said, I think over this time, we've seen a lot. We've seen that obviously individuals themselves you can really protect yourself if you're smart about it. And we haven't left home much in this 100 and something days it's been. And so I think over time and with the support of obviously Renee kind of wanting me to go and do my job and do what I love to do. And the hardest part for me is going to be leaving him for a couple months. We were literally just talking of, I think it's minimum like 7-8 weeks we'll be gone for, which will be the longest I've been away from my kids. So there'll be a few days in there that I'll be very grumpy because it's the kid's birthday while we're away and a couple other things that I'll miss. But I'll make sure everyone knows those dates, because if you come near me, you'll probably get a rude awakening. But no, it's just going to be, it'll be tough. But like I said, I want to go and play. I want to support my team. I want to do the best for the Jazz that I can. And hopefully we get as far as we can.
Thank you.
Cool. We're going to squeeze one last question in. It'll have to be kind of quick. Tim Reynolds, AP. Tim.
Thanks, Joe, for doing this. I know you guys are still in this unusual spot where you're in the gym, but you're not practicing. You're doing the individual stuff. How crucial are the next few days just to sort of just keep this build up going? You're 4 weeks away from playing, and you're still a full week away from really practicing. How critical is the work that's coming up, starting, that's been going on, and is going to continue individually for the next week or so?
Yeah, it's super important. I think we've had conversations within our team about this weekend too. Obviously, July 4 here is a celebration day, and usually I'm pretty sure everyone gets with family and friends, and I would have a couple quiet beers and enjoy myself. But you don't want to ruin, like you said, what you've done for really since probably a couple of weeks after we got back from OKC. We kind of got programs and started to just slowly get back into it. And I mean, obviously getting a positive test kind of from now to the next week or two will really ruin not only your chances to play, but if you're a big part of your team, you're really hurting your team as well. So we've all put in, like I said before, a lot of work individually at home in the gym now, obviously, that we can get in. And it would be sad to kind of ruin it, ruining it, doing something silly or not being smart about something, or going to a grocery store and not protecting yourself or whatever it is. So I think, especially this next couple of weeks until we kind of get to the bubble and get situated there, and still don't know how much of a bubble it is. I think there's a few holes poked in the bubble, but that till we get there, get situated, it's a really crucial time. I think if you test positive now, it's a couple of weeks of quarantine, and then to build your fitness back up. And there's been word of, if you do get positive, there's no physical activity for a little while in that 14 days. So you're really pushing yourself back, and I mean, you're probably looking at 3, 4, 5 weeks before you're back to kind of where you are now. So really important time right now. And hope if my teammates are listening, they put their July 4 parties on hold. I'll throw a party once we get back for them.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks, Joe. Okay. Well, this has been great. Thanks to everyone for joining, and thanks for Joe for.
Thanks, Madeline. You're a wonderful host.
Thanks, Joe.
I tried.
Joe.
Hope everyone has a great one. See you guys